It's 5 p.m. going on 5 p.m. Saturday, August 13th. And this is my daily message for the kids. Young people, you know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody ever stop you from doing something that you think is a good thing for you to get ahead. Now, I'm not talking about all kind of shortcuts and shit like that, because remember, when you take them shortcuts in the street, whether it's a con game, whether it's a scam, a scheme, whether you doing something, or on the shady side of the law or a legal side of the law, you got to realize there's consequences to everything we do in life. Everything that you do, I do, anybody do in life, you pay for ultimately some way, one way or another. It's always a trade-off in life. See, people don't tell you that when they be telling you about the streets and shit. You know what I'm saying? They tell you all the good shit, the Gucci shit. You know what I'm saying? When everything is great and gravy. But they don't talk so much about the fact that everything you do in life, you gonna pay for it one way or the other. Like, for example, me, I smoked, I did a lot of smoking in my life of trees, you know what I'm saying? And on and off. And I have to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? With my health. You know what I'm saying? There's a trade-off for whatever you do. You know, if you do something criminal, there's a trade-off. You may get a court, and then you got to go to jail. You separated from your family, your loved ones, your kids. You know what I'm saying? When you come out, then you got a criminal record that prevents you from getting certain jobs. And see, the problem is, a lot of times we don't value those jobs and those blessings that we are able to get when we young, because we just be thinking about the fun. And like, let me give you an example. I used to hop the train a lot when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. All teenagers do it. You know, the police saying you ain't gonna get in trouble. They give you a ticket, this and that. Yo, them tickets add up. And I didn't pay them tickets. And guess what? Years later, you talking about like maybe 10 years later or more, at least 10 years or more, I was trying to get a job with transit. I took the transit test. I scored real high because I wanted to work in the booth, you know, like the token booth. Back when they used to have tokens and all that before the Metro cards, the booth. So I took the test. I scored real high on the test, yo. So then they said, well, you'll be right on the waiting list, and the higher you score, the quicker they'll call you. So a couple months passed, ain't nobody called me. So I was like, damn, I wonder what's going on. So I went down there to the main office downtown, and I took my test score with me. Yo, the lady said, well, let me look up your name. Do you owe any money to transit? I said, well, maybe some tickets from hopping the train. Yo, she looked in the system. She told me, oh, yeah, you owe whatever it was. Maybe it was over 1,000. I don't remember what the amount was, but it had added up. You know, those $50 tickets, those $100 tickets, and then they add surcharges and taxes and fees, whatever. You know, it had added up over the years, and I hadn't thought about it. I didn't even think about it because it all happened when, back when I was younger. I didn't have no consequences. I didn't pay for it back then. I paid for it more than 10 years later when I was trying to get that job with transit, and I didn't get it because she told me, she said, they won't call you until you pay off them tickets. You know, no matter how high your score is. Yeah, your score is very high. They should have called you by now. But when she looked in the computer, she saw why they didn't call me, because I hadn't paid off them tickets. You understand what I'm saying? So you pay for everything you do one way or another. Even if it's not now, in the afterlife, son, believe me when I tell you. Some people don't believe. I think they don't want to believe in God or afterlife of any kind, or paying consequences and having to account for what you did in your life, because they know they done did some real grimy shit, and they don't want to think about what the possible consequences could be in the afterlife. But you know what? I'm telling you, kids, pay attention. Anything you do in this life, you will pay for. Yo, believe me when I tell you, the laws are set up to protect the rich folk and the elite, to protect them. That's what the law is set up for. That's what the police, law enforcement is set up for, to protect the rich folks and keep them nice and safe from us. And the law is set to definitely punish. It protects the rich folks, and the penalties are set up to punish us, the poor folks. And you know that's true. Look at the Hunter Biden principle. Has he paid for anything he's done? Nope. This motherfucker openly videotaped himself doing all kind of criminal shit. And everybody's just looking the other way. The mainstream media acting like it didn't happen or it's not important. And, it was Russian disinformation. Nothing but lies, lies, lies. And you know when motherfuckers are lying to you? because that's when they want to issue a press release. See, when they trying to rile you up with their emotional bullshit and get a rise out of you and get you on their side or convince you of something, that's when they talk to you directly. Oh, you need to do this and that's terrible. That one's terrible and don't do this and don't do that. That's when they talk to you directly through their social media or whatever. They talk to you directly, but when they lying to you and trying to hide and avoid accountability and avoid responsibility and avoid answering direct questions, that's when they issue a fucking press release that half the time they don't even write. They fucking staff writes. So pay attention, because I don't think none of us here in the hood got that Hunter Biden motherfucking, invincibility shield. That's for motherfuckers whose last name is Biden, and that's not us. And whose first name is Hunter, and all the rest of them rich kids who get away with the shit they do. You know what I'm saying? Look how oh, come on. Let's stop it. Look, I know one thing. I know semantics when I see it. I know word games when I see it. And I know people are trying to avoid accountability. And see, my thing is, they want us poor folks to be accountable for anything we do, whether it's going to jail or whatever the hell it is. They want us to be accountable. They have all these systems set up to make us accountable, to make us pay for anything we do that's out of line or out of order, according to the laws and standards that have been created for everybody, but they don't follow them themselves. And they make the laws and don't follow them themselves, and don't follow them themselves. And the mainstream media does not hold them accountable. They're toxic too. Yeah, so I'm waiting for anybody to, come and try to tell me I'm wrong, yo. I'll be like, really? I'm a bad person? So tell me what you think about Hunter Biden and all these rich folks who are openly getting away with corruption, with criminal acts, with all kinds of stuff that they do. And then when it's time to be accountable, they issue a fucking press release written by their staff. I don't want to hear nothing about no accountability. I'm not in charge. I don't have millions of followers. I'm not in charge of millions of people or billions of dollars. And I don't make any decisions that affect that affect the country, the state, or the nation, or communities. The decisions I make affect me or my family. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So, kids, remember that. You know what I'm saying? All that shit that shines and glitters, it might look like gold. It might be gold. Some of it might be gold. But you pay a high price for every motherfucking thing you do. You don't believe me? Ask Alpo and them. Ask Pablo Escobar and them. You know what I'm saying? Ask, let's see, who else? Who else paid a real high price for it? Ask R. Kelly and them. Or, Weinstein. And eventually it catches up with you. But my problem is, we are all held accountable. The 99% below, the middle class and the lower class or poor class. But that top 1% that's running the country and making deals and decisions that affect the whole country and the world, they don't want to be accountable to nobody. Miss me with the bullshit. Yo, kids, watch out. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? Because everything you do, you got to pay for in the end. Remember that. Remember my sister, Cheryl Outerbridge. Look how she paid with her life. Don't be like that, kids. Be all you can be. Real talk. And don't let nobody stop you from being different, yo. When they motherfucker try to tell you you can't, show them that you can. YouTube, Renee Jimenez. YouTube, Crystal Claire Rise. YouTube, yeah. Still I rise. Now, where the fuck is Hunter Biden? I got some questions for you, Hunter.